All right. Well, the cut is in, and Nate Sudfeld is on his way out. The Lions decide to roll with Hendon Hooker as the backup quarterback to Jared Goff, and I have to agree, this was the right move. Now, I know what many of you are thinking right now. You're probably jumping for joy that Nate Sudfeld did not end up on this team, but he could be back. He could be back on the practice squad. Now, I will say that I don't normally do videos like this where we're, lauding in our, joy that a person did make our team. But, man, what we saw from Nate Sudfeld during this preseason was just not what I think that we expect from a professional level of quarterback with 9 seasons plus of experience. He just wasn't able to get the ball to his players, and he seemed really frazzled at times, panicky almost. He did have a few good series here or there. He had a better second, opportunity when Hendon Hooker was injured in that first preseason game. But throughout, the first 2 preseason games, Nate Sudfeld just didn't do enough to win a position for the Detroit Lions. And I think a lot of Lions fans are rejoiced right now that we don't have to worry about Hendon Hooker at this point. So Detroit Lions are heading into what should be the rest of the cuts. It's after 1 o'clock and the rest of the cuts have not been in yet. So it's going to be a flurry. Absolutely. But what I like to do is roll into a little bit of information here, produced by David Burkett. Now, he wanted to give a little bit of clarity here about Nate Sudfeld. He said the Lions finally have some clarity at the backup quarterback position. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, that the Lions decided to release Nate Sudfeld, opening the door for Hendon Hooker to take the backup job. The Lions will then roll with either Sudfeld or Jake Fromm as the practice squad quarterback. Now, from all things that I am hearing, Nate Sudfeld still might have an opportunity to come back to this practice squad. But Dan Campbell really fell in love with Jake Fromm and what he was able to do, not only with limited snaps, but limited time with the team to learn this very complicated offense. Vanilla playbook, absolutely. But Jake Fromm went in there and just dialed it in. I thought that was exceptional work from a young quarterback in the NFL. Now, Dave Burkett put out this, was it a tweet? Says, I think that we all sort of said this, but it always made the most sense for the Lions to keep 2 quarterbacks, Goff and Hooker. Sudfeld or Fromm could be the number 3 on the practice squad. Dan Campbell's comments kind of made everyone pause. Fromm's play on Saturday was the reset that they needed before cuts. I think that there's some valuable notes that Dave just kind of gave us there, but my own opinion is this. Had the Lions kept 3 quarterbacks, what we would have seen is another position lose out on a playmaker or potential playmaker or quality depth. And given the Lions' injury issues currently, as it stands, the Lions cannot really afford right now to lose any more quality depth players. There are so many good players right now between 40 and 53 on this roster. This is an extremely difficult day for Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes to whittle this roster down. But man, we've got to be excited as Lions fans. The quality again of depth, I'm going to say it for like the 6th time, is just incredible on this team. From where we were in 21 to where we're headed now in 2024, Lions fans need to be excited about what's about to happen come week 1 at home versus the LA Rams. It is going to be a display of defense that I don't think that we have seen in a very, very long time. Be that as it may, man, I'm excited to see what happens today. We got a couple short hours in front of us. There's going to be a flurry of action coming soon. But today's news is good news that we don't have to worry about Nate Sudfeld backing up Jared Goff anytime soon. But what I will say is, Nate has provided, I guess, a safety valve for Jared Goff. Somebody that, was able to bend his ear and give him good information and prep throughout the week and, leading up to each game. And that insight is imperative to a quarterback's success each week. Seeing it from a different quarterback's eyes or through a different quarterback's eyes. And Nate is good at that. So Nate, buddy, join the team as a coach. Please. I think that you are probably a much better coach than you are a quarterback at this stage in your career. And I'm sure that's not what he wants to hear. And that's just my take, my opinion, which is worth, nothing like everybody else's. So I still would like to see Nate around this team because he's been good for the team, and he's a good dude from what we understand. And to see him back in any sort of a position helping this team win, well, that's a win-win for everybody. So best of luck, Nate, in the future. Whatever happens, happens. But now we're on to the final 53. We've got a few short hours in front of us. Man, let's go Lions. This is going to be a fun season.